Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Friday, November 10th, 2017. My name is Rich, and joining me this week is Bijan. How you making out?
I am good to a degree, man. My back is in a lot of pain. We'll get into that in a bit, but I am so excited. You all are in for a major, major treat this episode.
That's right. We are mixing it up this time. We are going to another continent, Australia. We have the Aussie Ninja Warrior, Adam, Waring with us. How you making out, Adam?
Oh, yeah. G'day, mate. How you going?
Good, good. Love the accent. Absolutely love the accent.
So terrible.
So Adam competed on Australian Ninja Warrior. We're not going to do a full coverage of the season right now. We're going to get an idea of what it was like. Adam's backstory. He's got some interesting travel stories, kind of going back and forth between America and Australia.
Yeah.
Also has been to the Wolfpack Ninja Tour, so we'll be talking about that a little bit. But first up, I want to know the sore back, Bijan. What's going on before we loop Adam in here?
Oh man! After all that build-up with Adam, people have to listen to my sad, crappy stories.
Well, I'm thinking Adam can help you, right? So Adam is all about training and helping people with Ninja right now.
I was training today. I'm sore myself, but I've got the lats. It's all about the lats today.
Let's just say Adam's a little bit more buffer than me, but guys, like this, I think my biggest problem is that when I train way too hard, and I'm sure, Adam, you know about this. There needs to be off days where you rest. And the problem with me is I really don't do that enough. So I did a day of P90X and Insanity, followed by a day of CrossFit, followed by 2 days straight of rock climbing. And then I go to Oceanside to M-Rock training facility, which is basically a ninja gym. And I'm already like, my muscles are tight and everything, but I'm like, I'll stretch. This will be fun and everything. I do a bunch of obstacles. It's awesome. At a certain point, I'm worn out because my fingertips are already in pain from all the rock climbing and stuff. I'm not like super rock climber status and everything. Super fun, by the way. I'll get into that in a bit. But guys, the next day, I try to get out of bed for work, and I am just like, oh no, what did I do? I am in so much pain. I have this giant like welt on my kneecap that I think came from like one of these obstacles that I was training for, like a Spartan at the gym. But yeah, my lower back, I'm pretty sure it came from the salmon ladder that I did a bunch of times. But whew, I'm not injured, but I am very sore, and I feel like if I were to go a little bit harder, I would have injured myself. So I'm definitely ready to pick Adam's brain in tips of rest and also preparation to better, adhere to obstacles. Because when you're doing obstacles and laches and stuff like this, your body's more free-flowing, and there's much more opportunity for your body to just whiplash in different ways and do different sprains. And yeah, I'm thankful I'm not hurt, but that was a close call.
Yeah, so I think you being so sore will actually force you, obviously, to take some days off. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, you're well on the way to injuring yourself if you kept up at this level, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, raw enthusiasm,
I've done it.
definitely 10 points. But yeah, I mean, you've got to cut it back a little bit.
Work up to it, basically, right? Like, you can go hard, but you gotta get there first.
So a lot of it's all about conditioning. And when we talk about the Wolfpack, I want to talk about that for a second, because you could definitely tell the ninjas that were conditioned and those that weren't, just because it was such a rough weekend for everyone. But yeah, good enthusiasm, man. That's what we want to see.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of training, and I'm more excited just everything I'm doing next year, right? And I'm sure you're excited for all your plans for all the competitions and stuff.
Very much so. Actually, I want to pick your brain on, are you going to do the ANW experience in San Diego?
I am, bro.
Are you going to do the men's adult course, or are you going to do the amateur tryout? Do you know?
I'm still deciding. It has a lot to do with like what my girlfriend and everybody wants to do, but
because the amateur tryout, you do 3 obstacles over water. And if you're in the top like 12 or 11 or something, then you go through to the pro course where you can do like 6 obstacles. But if you just do the adult course, then you do 8 obstacles. Course. Yeah, the general stuff over those like the rubber mats or the inflatable mats. So it's like the adult course actually sounds more fun and a heap less stressful. But the amateur tryouts, like if you make it, then you make it and it's awesome. But if you don't make it, then it's like it's a lot of money to just do 3 obstacles. So
it's the reward.
I'm totally torn. Yeah.
Dude, that's 100% what I'm feeling. The problem is that I think if they gave you the opportunity for the amateur tryouts to do the adult course, it'd be all well and fine. But the fact that you can pay all this money and just do 3 obstacles and you're done.
Assuming you get through all 3.
That good point, right?
You could do 1 obstacle and you're done, and that's $120 and your whole weekend, and you know.
Yeah, and it sucks, man. So that's exactly my sentiment, where it's like, do I want to go for the extreme rewards and all this stuff, or do I really want to have a fun time? And I'm more leaning, honestly, towards the fun time because it is going to be with my family and friends. Yeah. Not only that, but you do get like a full video of you doing the course. So,
like you talking about that in one of the other podcasts, like that's what solidified in my mind. I'm definitely going. It's like, you know, all that footage and stuff. It helps with applications. Like,
exactly,
it's gonna be so good. I might end up doing both, to be honest. I might go like the tryout on the Saturday and then maybe the adult course on the Sunday, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it, especially if you're very confident that you can make that top 10 and go for the finals. I mean, there's a lot of money on the line.
There is. I am not confident in the slightest, but I'd still like to give it a go.
Yeah. I mean,
especially at Wolfpack,
resume,
like there's so many fast ninjas around. So many. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out.
Dude, I mean, in California for San Diego, there's going to be like Flip Rodriguez and a bunch of people. Where I'm like, oh. But
they won't be on the amateur course, though. I think you're pretty safe there.
It's true.
Yeah, but the amateur course, I feel like, is going to go into the finals, you know?
Yeah, so I mean, looking at the website, it's a little bit confusing. So it says, like, if you're in the top, I don't know, 11 or 13 or something, then you make it into the pro course, and it says the top 22 compete against each other. So that doesn't, to me, imply that there's any pros running at that stage. So maybe they run later, or it's just not super clear.
Yeah, they're still very vague on the details, but I'm sure we're going to get more info when they figure it all out. One thing I do know is that everybody getting a spectator pass to see those finals are going to be super, super fun.
Yeah, I think I'd definitely hang around to watch it all. So, like, at Wolfpack, it was amazing. Like, it was so much fun to watch all those races. So I imagine this would be the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Adam, let's get to Australian Ninja Warrior, because I got to tell you, I watched exactly 1 run of Australian Ninja Warrior, and that is yours, which was very cool.
Yep.
You did an awesome job.
Thank you.
So what was that like, I guess? How did you end up on there, and what was the experience like?
Yeah, so it was an amazing experience. It was like literally when I'm like flying through the air over the water on like the zipline thing, like I was thinking to myself, like, this is the most fun I've ever had. Like, it was so good. I've realized in hindsight, I really like people chanting my name when I do things. That was super cool.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, so basically, no one in Australia had heard of Ninja Warrior. Like, it was a completely unknown quantity. I'd been following it for 10 years because I love the Japanese version. And then through the Japanese version, it's like, who are all these Americans coming through? And then obviously I found American Ninja Warrior and just got super obsessed with that. So there's really just, honestly, a couple of us in Australia that knew that the show existed.
Interesting.
So that was really weird. But Australia's always been a fairly sporty country. We don't have the harsh winters that a lot of the Northern Hemisphere has. So people are playing sport pretty much all year round. So we're pretty sporty. And so all the Tough Mudders and Spartans and stuff usually get a massive turnout. So basically... I waited my entire life for Australian Ninja Warrior to turn up, and it just never did. Like, it just took forever. So me and my partner moved to America so that I could compete on American Ninja Warrior. And about 5 months in, that's when it was released that Australian Ninja Warrior was starting. So I did my application for Australian Ninja Warrior over here in America. And basically, I think they got me on through pure enthusiasm and love of the sport. I was training here and then flew back, had crazy delayed flights and stuff, so pretty much arrived just in time, which, to be honest, the jet lag probably worked in my favor because I didn't go on till 1:30 in the morning or something, and I was fresh as a daisy, good to go. Everyone else is a personal trainer was super struggling because it's quite a long day when you do all the media stuff and the interviews and all that sort of stuff. So you start at 8 a.m. and then may not go on till 2 a.m. or something. But yeah, it was really, really fun. There was a few complaints when the show aired that the Australian course was significantly easier than the American course, which it was. It definitely was easier. But I don't think people realize that most people competing had never really heard of the show, didn't really know what they were in for, and obviously hadn't been training for a decade like the David Campbells and whatnot. And despite that, the season went really well. We actually got a young lady by the name of Andrea Ha on top of the walk wall in the first season, which apparently hasn't happened in any other country. She is the best female rock climber in Australia and just so athletic and so exciting to watch. The season was really exciting. I loved every minute of it. Most people struggled with the commentators. They're a little bit we would call boganish. So when you hear that really harsh Australian accent, that's what they brought to the table. So lots of people were complaining that they had to watch with the sound off and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But
was it extremely over the top? Is that what you mean?
It wasn't over the top like Akbar's amazing sayings. It was more cringeworthy. So almost like they were trying to be too Australian, if that makes sense. I know that's a weird objection, but it was just most people struggled.
Right. Once you said bogan, I'm oh, okay, so now I get where it's coming from, because I have heard the term before, and I get where you're saying. It'd almost be comparable to saying a redneck in America, I think.
A little bit, yeah. I'm not sure if there's really a strong comparison, but yeah, imagine hillbillies were commentating American Ninja Warrior.
It's when people go extreme.
That's kind of what it seemed like.
Yeah. Or a chav, I think they is the term they use in
the UK,
in Britain. Yeah.
So the show, I thought the production values were fairly good. We didn't know what to expect, especially having seen 1.5 episodes of Ninja Warrior UK. I was really, really nervous. But no, it turned out really well. It was actually the highest rating show in Australia.
Oh, that is good.
So that was really exciting. Pretty much from the first night, they were getting numbers equaling a football grand final, really big numbers. And everyone just breathed this massive sigh of relief. It's all right, we're going to get a second season. It's going to be all right. So they actually aired it really weirdly. No other show has done this, but they actually aired it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for three weeks in a row. So they had 9 episodes all squashed into 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, that was weird. So by Tuesday, you're kind of ODing on Ninja Warrior a little bit. And then throughout the rest of the week, you're just so keen to watch it again. And I was doing all the recaps, so I just wasn't sleeping for those 3 weeks. But yeah, it was so much fun.
Well, a few things hitting off of that. First of all, the ease of the course, right? It's the first season, as you alluded to, and every time we see a Ninja Warrior type of competition, with the first season, it's always important that you do have a more accessible course. There are people that aren't very familiar with it. Yeah, so they need to not only have that entry level. You don't want everybody failing on the first or second obstacle. I mean, it's just not going to be
a very good show. Yeah. And so when they announced it, there was only one gym in Australia with ninja obstacles, just one. And that was in Perth, the Perth Ninja Academy, which is an incredible setup. It's amazing. And it might be one of the best in the world. But Perth is the furthest capital city from any other capital city in the world. It's just not close to anything. So now now that it's been a year plus, there's a heap of gyms and people are training like crazy. So I'm expecting the skill level to rise significantly. Most people in Australia had...
And production value.
Yeah, well, I mean, there should be a lot more money thrown into it. But most people had 3 or 4 months notice that they were going to be on this TV show. So applying for something they'd never really heard of, suddenly having to learn how to do obstacles. So now, I'm pretty sure once the show finished filming, everyone just hit the gym as hard as they could and haven't stopped until the show films in December.
Yeah. I gotta say, it did look pretty legit, though. It didn't, I think you're doing it a little bit of a disservice because it looked like a pretty solid course from what I could see. And that's just in the qualifiers, right?
Yeah. The one you saw was just the qualifying. So the semifinals got significantly harder. Yeah, no, it was not too easy, but I think people that had watched the American series were disappointed with the level of the Australian series. Not really understanding that it takes a while for people to be able to train up to, obviously, a Drew Dressel level.
Yeah, it's hard to compare the two because we're talking about a show that's 9 seasons in to a show where it's the first season in comparison to we're doing the first time. But in terms of the build and everything, these are legit obstacles. They're not chump.
They were built by ATS, so ATS came through, and they were completely solid. They'd definitely look at home on an American Ninja Warrior course.
Yeah. I would compare it to so I guess my comparison would be to be mid, like ANW 4 or 5, not ANW 1 level.
No.
Yeah. That's a good comparison.
I think that's a great comparison.
ANW 1, by the way, I just rewatched it the past week. Oh boy, that is a hot mess of some obstacles and some competitors, but it was really interesting watching James McGrath run with his brother, and you're just like, oh well, yeah, he's got a brother, and they're all running together. It was really cool. Man, you guys gotta see some of those early episodes or seasons of A&W, guys. It's crazy seeing your favorite competitors as kids.
I saw season 2 not so long ago, and actually last time I was at Wolfpack in April, I just spoke to David Campbell for 40 minutes just about season 2. It really is amazing to go back.
To pick his brain.
Yeah.
If there's one person to pick their brain about the early seasons, it's David Campbell,
Absolutely.
So before we move on from Aussie Ninja Warrior, I gotta say, we have some clips here that Adam put together of the actual commentators, and Bijan hasn't heard them yet. So let's pick a couple to listen to, and we'll put them into the episode for you guys to hear what they sound like. Adam, I'll let you pick the first one. What one do you think we should listen to first?
Ooh, I reckon, maybe the Boing one.
Okay, so we'll listen to Boinged.
Have a look at the pecs on this bloke. Phenomenal. This is not going to be a problem for Kadeem.
Did you see how much spring he had there? He just boinged up there.
Oh my. Okay. Okay. So let's just comment a little bit on the female commentator very quick.
Yeah.
I apologize, I don't know how her name, but it kind of reminds me of the talk show host was it Kathy Lee or something like that, where it's just over the top,
right?
Not really knowing what they're talking about, but
it was actually both of them very much felt like, when your uncle wanders into the room and you've got to kind of explain what you're watching to your uncle. That's what it felt like. And then it was his job to commentate to everyone else. So they're there's these 2 amazing parkour twins. And the male commentator would be like, oh yeah, they love doing the parkour. They do the parkour every night. And it's oh, people.
The parkour, huh?
The parkour, yeah.
The parkour.
They're so good at the parkour.
Yeah. Ugh. I mean, the first seasons of A&W had the same, but never to this extreme. I guess the problem is that there's a difference between hosts that maybe are professional but aren't necessarily astute with the sport, and people that actually know the sport that are commentating. And I think they went too far extreme with people that just come from a hosting position but don't know what the heck they're talking about. And I think there needs to be a middle ground.
Yeah, but Matt Eisman turned out really well, right? And before that, he had been a comedian and worked on a home improvement show. So, you know, he didn't really have the sports pedigree, but he's incredible. So, like, maybe it just takes time for people to warm into the role. But yeah, they're probably not the people I would have chosen.
No. I have a feeling
Yeah,
just
it'd
watching
be hard
this
to hit
and
that pace.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I'm
it's just
more
giving
than
me shades of UK Ninja Warrior and that one
a
guy.
little bit.
Yeah.
Can we
But
do?
I hope it's not that extreme.
They had Jets one. Can we do that one now? Because
Yeah, I
do
think
love
that's a
it.
good one.
That's the fastest we've seen tonight. He had jets in his shoes.
It's like it's like an Akbarism.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just
that was fine. I give that one out of 10. With the first one was like a 3. I'd give this one like a 5.
nice.
Yeah.
So
I want to suggest one here. You don't have time for that.
yeah,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
and they seem to tell a lot of people off a lot of the time.
Could she be on her way to the warped wall?
We can't stand still up here. This is too much to watch.
The whole crowd cheering her on.
Okay, go you,
She
girl.
can't believe it.
Hang
Oh,
on, you don't have time for that.
we caught the
surely.
cartwheel.
Oh, I wanted to see more of that. Is she the woman that made it up the warped wall?
No, she's just a great competitor. There's
Yeah,
actually we had
entertaining.
some really amazing female competitors in the first season.
Oh, I just realized this is audio only, so no one has any idea
So
what she just
we gotta
did.
describe what's going on, man. So,
Yeah.
Rich, why don't you take it, man?
I was going to say, so it starts with a woman going along a cargo net. She's doing very solidly. She makes it off. And then moving on to the next obstacle, she doesn't break pace, but she does a cartwheel on the way, looking very strong. And for some reason, the host says, you don't have time for that. Like, she's doing amazing. Why would you criticize her for that? And I think there's another clip where she says the same thing. So that was
Yeah.
kind of a common thing for them to do.
Yeah, it happened a lot. Like anytime
didn't
someone
even
showed
hear the
flair, they're like,
commentaries.
"What are you doing? You can't do that." I'm like, I'm not sure if they ever watched A&W, to be honest.
Yeah, I think they're missing kind of the
commentators
point.
are gonna be commentators,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, what I'm seeing at least from a few of these clips is that these are not chumps. And no, I hate knocking on UK Ninja Warrior, but what I will say is
deserves
that
to be
UK
knocked.
Ninja Warrior went. Yeah, UK Ninja Warrior went too far to the extreme of like Everyday Man, where it's just like people that don't have any chance, and it was too much played for less. These competitors look at least legit,
Yeah.
and this woman, it's hard to describe, guys, but it's very impressive looking. It looked entertaining.
Yeah, I loved it. Loved it.
I will say the commentators have the right enthusiasm, whether it's, whether their knowledge is quite where it should be, and maybe it's a little off-putting at times. At least they seem enthusiastic and genuinely excited for the competitors, and not excited to see them fall and laughing.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah,
Good
no,
point.
that was never the case. They were always devastated when someone fell. Like
That's important.
yeah, I think
Dude,
so.
I'll take somebody devastated, actually empathetic, than somebody just laughing at every single little like problem.
Yeah, I mean the UK one.
Oh,
I
I'm
only
getting
got
triggered.
through.
I'm getting triggered, dog. Oh, I need to calm down.
I only made it
Breathe,
through
BJ, breathe.
an episode and a half. I'm not sure if I remember correctly, but did they put sound effects in when people fell, or am I just
Sometimes.
Yeah,
They played crazy music. They did all kinds of weird things when people fell.
yeah,
Yeah.
not cool.
So
man.
we keep looping back to that. So focusing on Aussie Ninja Warrior or Australian Ninja Warrior for a second.
Yeah.
Do you think it's something we should cover? Do you think it's worth us
Ooh,
taking the time to cover it?
That's a good question. You know what? I do think so, especially when you've got some amazing Australians coming over to America to compete in Wolfpack and the NNL. You'll definitely see some familiar faces. And there's some really great athletes. Like, considering that ninja gyms haven't really existed, people did surprisingly well. There's a couple of guys that gave... so Drew Joshua wasn't at Wolfpack. He actually went to Perth to compete in their competition. And the couple of boys gave him a run for his money. He didn't win the competition.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was really exciting. He came second, and it was one rung of a salmon ladder different. But yeah, like, people were chasing his time. Like, he was very good, but it's not like the Australians are 10 years behind. So yeah, I think, and with commentating gold, why wouldn't you want to cover it?
All right. So if anybody else has watched it and would like us to cover it, let us know. We'd actually be interested to see if everyone else thinks the same way. We're a little gun shy, and I know we keep looping back to it, but after the UK Ninja Warrior fiasco, we've been a little shy of the international competitions since then.
And that's
With that said, I'm excited for Aussie Ninja Warrior. I mean, it does, from what I've seen, hosts. Oh man, it's hard because those hosts really destroyed it for me. But from what I'm seeing, at least these competitors look like they are entertaining. I could be wrong, but
I think
that said, I mean, yeah, and if we are going to cover it though, we need to make sure also that our audience can follow along with us.
Yeah, that's the tough part.
There is that other thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like someone. So at my work, I told the cafeteria chef, and he was super excited, and he was saying that he actually saw one of the episodes on TV here. So I don't know the details, but maybe it's aired. They do throw a lot of the really good runs on YouTube, so that might be a thing. But yeah, if your audience can't watch it, then it's probably not that much fun. You're just describing an hour and a half of footage.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time.
That's true.
Right. So let's take a look. So you also competed in the Wolfpack Ninja Tour, which just wrapped up. And I'm telling you, it looked amazing. For those of you that didn't get a chance to look at it on Facebook, I was absolutely shocked. Not that the competitors were strong or anything else, but the production value. They had a full-fledged TV show going there. They were switching camera angles, introducing everything. It was really, really cool.
And when you were there in the stadium watching live, like they had all of that on the big TVs. Like I think it might have been like an ice hockey court thing.
Arena? Rink?
Arena, sure, yes, arena. So they had the big TVs in the center showing all that footage as well. So often the better view was like looking up at these TVs because the production values were so high. Like it was great. Wolfpack was so good.
So before we talk about it a little more, I just want to know, Bijan, did you take a look at the results yet?
I have not.
So,
but I am going to make a guess of the top three.
Do it.
Let's see how off base I am. Oh man, Adam Rail. Let's see. What did he make first again? Let's think. You know what? I am going to say, because he's been so fast lately, he took first place again. I will say second place went to Flip Rodriguez, and number 3 went to Drew Dreschel.
No, Drew was in Perth.
Drew was in Perth. I need you to guess a new third option. I really need you to guess another third.
I'll do a different third. I'm gonna laugh so hard if it's Andrew Lowe's, but it's gonna be, we'll say, who's super fast that I'm just blanking on, man.
You can do this. I believe in you.
There's just so many options in my head right now.
Yeah, but fast.
Screw it. I'll go with Joe Morawski.
Oh, you were
so close.
I almost thought you're cheating. You're like, that is ridiculous. So
what is it? What am I right?
Adam was first. Flip was second.
Oh my God! Yup.
Nice call.
Champ is here.
And Daniel Gill was third.
Oh wow! Yeah. See, it was weird because I was thinking, like, in my head, Daniel Gill, Najee Richardson. Like, I'm thinking all the speed demons. Like, who's got the? Like, I was figuring, like, oh, maybe it's another young gun and everything. But then I'm like, well, if Joe Morawski was there, like, I can't, because I already like skipped him over for the fantasy league. I was like, I can't not skip him again. But yeah, props to Daniel Gill. That's awesome, man. Good on him.
Daniel could have won it. Like, he unfortunately like fell when he was racing Flip on pretty much the first obstacle. But before that, he was just getting incredible times. So he was definitely in line. But like, basically, Daniel, Flip, and Adam like pretty much had the top 3 sewn up. Yeah, it was amazing to watch.
There's some other cool names in that top 10. Thomas Stillings, Joe Moravsky, Andrew Lowe's, and Nicholas Coolidge right after that.
Yeah.
So all the names that we come to expect.
But that's only half the competition. I got to say, that's only half the competition. We got the women, too. Who do you think?
Well, before you go into that, though,
Sure.
Though I want to clarify, like, looking at the course, it looked very, I'd say, transition parkourish heavy.
Yes.
And that's why I was really high up on somebody like Andrew Lowe's and Flip Rodriguez doing well. And that's probably why I could see Daniel Gill taking top 3 also. It just plays more towards the Speed Demon transition people. That's why, yeah, now that I think about it,
That said, though, like in the Wolfpack in April, like that course seemed almost unfallable. Where this one, there was definitely a lot of people that fell off at least 2 of the 6 or 7 obstacles. It was actually quite a difficult course that these guys obviously make look super easy.
Of course, because they got to go super fast.
Super fast,
but
yeah.
I have a feeling we're going to get some surprise in the women also, because just the way the course is made, I mean... Well, Rich, why don't you give it to us? I can't even imagine the top 3.
I was gonna offer you $100 if you get the top 3.
Oh God. Well, let's do this. I don't need $100. You can donate it, but let's see. We'll do number 1. Like the easy answer is Jesse Graff, but I just feel like there's gonna be some complete. Oh gosh. Okay, number one. Who's fast?
I'll give you that number 1 is not. The number 1 is a popular ninja that you know.
It is?
Yes.
Jesse Graff, Megan Martin, Casey Catanzaro. I mean, Megan Martin isn't but she is. Did Megan Martin compete in this?
She did.
Yes.
I don't know if she'd be. I feel like Megan Martin would be in the top 3. I feel like. Oh gosh, I'm blanking on her name, and I'm really appalled by that. Well, let's say Alyssa Beard would also be in the top 3. I feel like. And who else is super fast? Oh, would Jesse Graff be in there? I mean, Jesse Graff is fast.
She won it in April.
But she's... Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with those 3. So I'll say Megan Martin, number 1. Alyssa Beard, number 2. Jesse Graff, number 3.
I mean, those are solid picks.
And I have a feeling I am super way off.
No,
on
you
this
got the
one.
number 1. It was Megan Martin that won it.
Awesome. Wow. Okay. I really, because Megan Martin isn't known to be she's fast, but she's never winning these things. But I feel like Megan Martin's part of Wolfpack. I feel like she might be a little bit more comfortable.
I mean, Megan came second in April at the last Wolfpack.
Yeah. So I can totally see her winning. Who's number 2?
Australian Ninja Warrior champion, Olivia Vivian.
Awesome. I would have never in a million years guessed that. So
Although
that's why you was going to say.
Yeah. She did come 5th in April. So she came through the amateur. So obviously no one had ever heard of her. Came through the amateur and just fought her way into the finals, which was very exciting to watch.
That is awesome. That's like a Cinderella story status. On nobody's radar and just plowing, blowing past everybody.
And so Wolfpack made her part of the pro team. So she went straight through to finals and did really well.
Good on her.
And you've heard of 3rd place too, but probably wasn't on your radar for this, and that's Rebecca Bonilla.
Yeah.
Rebecca Bonilla,
really? She was so good, she never even took her cardigan off. She's like, I've got this. But
I really want to see her run because, wow, she was 100% not on my radar. That's more a fault to me. But I'm really excited to see that. That's awesome.
Well, at Rockford,
major
she
props.
did really, really well. A lot of the girls were struggling to get past the second last obstacle. And Rebecca...
Do you know what obstacle that was?
No, I can't remember. I'm sorry. But yeah, so Rebecca just, all the girls were just super struggling, and then Rebecca just did it really easily. And that, the crowd was on their feet. It was incredible to watch.
That's very cool. And in the top 10,
awesome.
some other more familiar names: Barclay Stockett, Tiana Weberly, Natalie Duran, Tammy McClure. So we're going to go through. I have to say, we've been getting hit up by a lot of people asking for us to cover the Wolfpack Tour. I don't know that we can do the full episode. It's the live video is 4 hours long.
Yeah.
So we should take a look at it, though, Bijan. Maybe we'll find a way that we can kind of cover bits and pieces of maybe the finals.
We can do maybe the finals. I'm down for that. That sounds like good times.
Can I say, though, that like the Wolfpack thing was amazing to watch, but it absolutely was a war of attrition. Like the pros had to run so many times, especially like if someone like ran a race and then they lost and then they'd have to claw their way back. So Olivia and Megan actually raced 3 times in a row to determine the winner. And Adam Rail, like he looked solid the whole way through, but everyone else was just really struggling. So Daniel Gill like just fell off the second obstacle. Like he was just exhausted. Like Joe made it to the top and he looked like he just wanted to lie down. Like it's such a tough contest for these really, really good ninjas. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough to watch. You kind of like you want to see more, but you're also starting to feel really sorry for them as well. Because it's just so many races. So I ran twice over 3 days and I'm still a bit sore from it. So like Olivia must have run like maybe 10 times because like she did a couple of runs to qualify into the pros, and then it's kind of a knockout thing, but then the loser like runs again. So I mean it's a tough course to just do over and over and over.
There didn't seem to be any pauses. I've never seen courses run so back to back to back. Like there wasn't really time. They didn't have any obstacles that had to be like, wiped down and reset back up. As like run. That
was the genius of this course, and they did it in April as well. But nothing needs to be reset. There was a couple of guys with poles like just stopping the UFOs from swinging, but that's it. So they really could just pump people through. It was engineering genius.
Yeah, I liked it. I wish I had more time to watch it over the weekend, so I do definitely want to go back and watch it. I think the finals are something we can take a look at and let you know what we think. For those that have been asking, I think we can probably accommodate that.
Oh, yeah, I'm super down for that. It's going to be like a Team Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
3.0.
So moving on, let's take a look at the National Ninja League. We have Classic City to cover here.
Classic City.
So this one was really exciting for me because I travel a little bit for work, so I end up in Chicago quite a lot. So a lot of the people that I train with at Chicago Ninja Academy were competing in this one. So I watched the whole thing on Facebook Live, which is like, that is really great technology, might I say. Like it's really fun to watch your friends compete. So good.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to drop in, even if you can't watch the whole thing. Like I dropped in for National Ninja League for a bit. I dropped in for the Wolfpack, just being able to look and go, oh, and it notifies me that, hey, like 4 of your friends are watching this live stream. And like, oh, I didn't realize they were showing that. So then you can jump in and watch. It's really cool.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah. That said, let's get it. Like, why don't you describe some of the course, man?
Oh, don't do that. I was just going to say very high level that it was, it looked like a good fast-paced course. It was like very streamlined, a lot of standard obstacles, very compact design. Like it's
compact and streamlined, man. But like one thing I really want to tackle on is they had to crank it up, guys, and they said it took out 80% of the transit
between. So it was one crank and then a UFO transition.
Good point. Yeah. So I guess like that big transition, like I don't know. I never like visually you could see it's tough, but I never imagined it taking out 80% of the field. Adam, do you know what's going on with that?
Yeah. So the crank no one really fell on the actual cranking it up part. It was all that UFO transition was so tough. And honestly, like when someone made that, you knew they were going to make it the whole way. But everyone would hold their breath every single time someone went for that leap. Because it's just a really hard transition to make. And so many people fell. Like people would just like be going through the course so fast and so strong and then taken out by that. Like Hunter Gerard, he was taken out. Like really strong ninjas struggled with that particular transition.
It's just like UFO catching herself on the downward like pull, and it's just really hard to like hold up all your body weight. With just
you're basically coming from like 3 feet above it on like a 45-degree angle. So all your weight is coming right down onto a UFO, which is hard to grab at the best of times. So yeah, it was a really fun course. And I won't say that was cheap. Like everyone who made that grab, everyone was just so excited for them. The 3 or 4 people that made that grab.
Yeah, it's the thing. So it's one thing to have a difficult obstacle as long as it's fair. Like, and it seems like this one was at least fair and not impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So taking a look at the results for the women, in third place, we had Amy Patel. In second, Rachel Brown.
Go Rachel.
And in first, Sarah Schoback.
Go Showback.
Sarah did really well. She was kind of chatting during running the course. But yeah, she's incredibly strong, and I can't wait to see her and her team in Team Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, Sarah's one of those ones that you can just kind of, you're just waiting for them to have a breakout season, right? So you get their name from National Ninja League and kind of around the edges here and there, but you're just waiting for that moment when they really stand above the crowd.
Yeah.
For the men, we had in third, Jacob McVeigh. In second, Trevor West, who was a full minute faster than Jacob, like a huge time difference. And in first, Kyle Soderman.
Yeah. So can I say, I'd never heard of Trevor West until I went to Rockford. And it was one of those situations where they're like, oh, and the next person is Trevor West. And like everyone got up out of their seats to watch this guy. And he's quite young. And so I was like, what's going on here? And then he flew through the course, equaling or bettering most of the pro times. Like, he was just so impressive. And everyone just went nuts watching this kid. So now, like, he's very much on my radar, and I cannot wait until he's old enough to be on American Ninja Warrior.
So he's one of your picks, maybe. I got to mention, Bijan.
4 years.
Adam is like an A&W Fantasy silver medalist this season.
That is correct. I wasn't. I actually, I was going to bring this up myself, but yeah, I came second.
Props to you, man.
Thank you very much.
But Champ just gave you guys some room. That way you guys can have your consolation prize. But
Thanks.
Champ's always here. Champ's coming back for that crown. And Team Ninja Warrior still got that. Still chilling.
Sure.
On my head.
Team Ninja Warrior being the most important of all the shows.
Of course, man. Right now it is.
Yeah,
Champ is here.
the only thing with Team is that they film it, right? So you can't do the A&W Fantasy, and it's perfect for it. It's like
It really
absolutely
is.
set up for it, but you can't do it because they don't announce everything early enough, and
Yeah.
kind of sucks. So speaking of Team Ninja, we should mention that the two first place finishers, Kyle Soderman and Sarah Schoback, are actually on the same Ninja versus Ninja team, from what they said.
With Hunter.
Yeah.
So he's their third. And Hunter is so quick. He is dangerously quick in a Lauren Ball sort of way. Like, he'll just take things like the craziest possible way. But if he pulls it off, it's like the quickest ever.
It's all or nothing with them. And I like that style. It's very, very fun to see.
So entertaining. And Kyle is really strong. I went to an NNL comp in Fresno, and he was the only finisher of an incredibly tough course. It was one that Gabe Hurtado set up. And Gabe couldn't finish it himself, and he set the course, and Kyle was the only one. So, I mean, I think that's going to be a pretty strong team to watch out for, along with all the other strong teams to watch out for.
Yeah.
That's it. It's crazy when you set up a course that you can't even finish. It's like, come on,
Yeah.
y'all.
Gabe, what are you doing? Gabe, you're killing us.
He's just creating really challenging courses. But I think Bijan was right in the Adam Rail, Rebecca, and the Papal Ninja team,
Yeah.
Team Ninja Warrior. Like that
That team's gonna
it's
kill.
so
it.
stacked.
Yeah, and Rich, don't even try because that one's mine.
Yeah.
That is so my pick.
Yeah, I don't even know who's going to beat them. And it's funny because they're not the most well-known ninjas.
No.
But among those that, really follow the sport,
You know?
that team's going to absolutely crush.
I don't think anyone in Australia really knows of Adam Rail. They should, but they don't, because he didn't really feature in NW9, and not that many people watch the American series. So yeah, like he's one of the most impressive ninjas. Definitely got his conditioning like down on point. Yeah, I can't wait to see where he goes next, considering how young he is.
He's young.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, he's got time to like his time will come in terms of like name recognition. And everything.
yeah.
He just needs to keep just being awesome, doing like everything he's doing, and he'll get like they begin with the shtick of like, oh, I've got the storyline. Adams is kind of like with his family right now, but it's gonna expand more and more to just Adam Rail, the guy that's just destroying the course. And
yeah. Who's won now like at least 26 grand in competition prizes.
Yeah.
Doing all right.
Yeah, dude's rolling dough.
Yeah.
So before we wrap everything up here, Adam, can you give us a little rundown on your blog? Because I forgot to ask you about that. You've got a whole website set up.
I do.
What's going on there?
So basically, just my pure raw enthusiasm for Ninja Warrior. I really wanted to set up a blog to help people train in Australia and I guess like internationally, given there's 20 shows around the world of different Ninja Warrior franchises, or 19 if we exclude the UK. So
19 then.
Yeah, when I started training, like I couldn't really find anything online on like what to do. Like, you know, some people say like rock climbing, parkour, but like what do you actually do? How do you do anything? So I guess the purpose of my blog is to really help Australians figure out how to do a Ninja Warrior course. So there's tips on like how to do laches, techniques on how to do the warp wall, heaps of like videos and gossip about Australian Ninja Warrior, which is tough because they silence me quite a lot. But then they give me like exclusives and stuff to share with everyone. So yeah, it's really exciting. Got a lot of the photos from the different competitors on there. Yeah, I've got a training manual to try and help people out, like how you should try and structure your week and maybe a type of diet that might be good for Ninja Warrior training and that sort of stuff. And basically, like, I couldn't find anything online. It wasn't until I came to America and started training in different ninja gyms across America that people would like, because people are so friendly, like they'd tell you things and like, oh, you know, for the quad steps, you know, you can tackle it this way or you can tackle it that way. And no one in Australia sort of knows that information. So that's why I created this blog to kind of share that knowledge. I'm 39 and so probably won't be competing for 1 trillion years. So if I can help others grow into the sport and if I can help the sport grow itself, which I think it will in Australia, I'd love to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. That's very cool. And for everybody's information, that's AussieNinjaWarrior.com.au.
Yes.
I will link it in the show notes for you.
Thank you.
What other things do you have going on? Anything else you'd like to plug, or do you want to give out your social media here for everyone to contact you?
Yeah, so on Instagram, I'm just Aussie Ninja Warrior. But if you go to the website, there's links to everything. We've got like a forum and stuff. But yeah, I have really enjoyed coming to America to train. As I said, like the community in America is phenomenal. Everyone is so friendly and so generous with their knowledge. I've moved to Portland, Oregon. And when we first moved, like there's a few parkour gyms and a few rock climbing gyms. And now there's 2 different Ninja Warrior dedicated gyms here. And I've built my own Ninja Warrior obstacle course in my shed. So there's a lot going on. It's really exciting and it's really fun to then go back to Australia to compete and then come back to train. So I feel like life's pretty good, except that flight is a killer. It's
I bet.
30 hours. There's a direct from LA to Sydney that's like 15 hours, but even that is pretty brutal. But yeah, it's a really exciting time. I think there's so much happening in the Ninja Warrior world now.
Mm-hmm. And once again, I want to give a huge shout out. Like, this website is pretty damn legit, dude. It's awesome that you have a training ebook. It looks really exciting. I might pick it up because, like, hey, I kind of need that. Quick aside, very quick. If you were to say, like, very shortly, like, the 2 top training, like, beginning tips for somebody that just wants to just get their hands in something to prepare for ANW,
Yep.
What would you suggest?
So the first thing I'd suggest is to get good at pull-ups. I feel like there's always, everyone talks about the grip strength required for ANW, but a lot of it isn't just grip strength. A lot of it is laches. It's being able to deal with your body in the air. There's a lot of upper body stuff. And the very first step with that is pull-ups. And then once you've got some pull-ups down, you need to learn how to do some lock-offs and stuff. And my second tip is really the thing that people get so obsessed with the grip strength stuff that they forget that usually like the first obstacle is quad steps. And then there's like a jolting obstacle. And then the third obstacle is balance. And so people forget to train those first 3 things, but those first 3 obstacles take out like, I think it's like 66% of the competition. So definitely training with some balance. and get your quad steps going, get your lateral movement. Because it is amazing how many people still go out on the quad steps, even though you know that they're going to be there. We had like one of our best sprinters in Australia, like this massive dude who's like got every single muscle that you can have, and he pretty much just fell on the quad steps. It's easily done. So for people that really would like to be on the show, like, get the lateral movement, get that quad step movement happening, and work on your balance.
Gotcha. Thanks, man. I mean, great tips, and I completely co-sign with the few things that I've done. I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, it's very important getting that upper body and to be able to hold yourself up, but also more anything else. Hey, you have to get past the first 3 obstacles to get deep into the course. So very important.
Yeah, first steps first.
All right, thank you, Adam, for joining us. It's been actually an awesome episode, and
thank you.
Love to have you back sometime, especially if we're going to be covering Aussie Ninja Warrior. We might hit you up again.
Awesome, I'd love that.
Got to hit up the expert. Got to see how well Adam's doing on this. I mean, I already know, but we'll touch on that.
Thank you. Can I say what a pleasure it is to be on this podcast? And I've listened to a lot of episodes, and you guys tackle everything really well. Like, I like the background info that you guys provide. It's a great podcast. I really enjoy it.
Thank you
very much.
That's all right.
Appreciate that.
If you guys would like to reach out, you can reach me as rich@ninjapodcast.com. I am at Ninja Podcast on both Twitter and Instagram. And Bijan, how can they reach you?
Hit me up at Bijan151. That is Bijan 151 on Twitter and Instagram. Got some ninja training videos up. I'm going to have some more over the weekend. And yeah, not Adam wearing status, but I'm doing my thing.
I'm going to like those so hard.
Thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a fantastic week.
See you guys.
Peace and love, y'all.